Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nerd On Update, the weekly show where we share our favorite nerdy news with all of you. And then the second half of the show, we take questions from the people out there asking us questions, either live or in email form or in comment form, and in any which way.
Sometimes in DMs.
Yeah, sliding into the DMs.
Before we get started, though, Tom, is there anything you want to tell us about?
I do, and I'm going to bring it really close to my face to make sure I try not to mess it up this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Attention, listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a pew problem? Insert space music here. So no, we don't. If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation and brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with code NERDON. Oh, I'm reading it. It was funny because I was like, I don't want to sound like I'm reading it, but you know how many times I've listened to Fat Man Beyond and they just read it? I'm like, you know what? I'm cool with it.
You can just read
there's
it.
No
That's fine.
there's no ego.
You don't have to be off book.
I don't have to be an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have, yeah.
Especially, typically you have a little script in front of you, especially.
Not
Anyways.
Why don't you just start us off since you're already talking?
Since
Yeah.
I'm already talking.
Talk.
What's up, y'all? Not today.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Almost put on the DC hat, but then put it away.
Yeah. Today I want to talk about some pictures that came out.
What kind of pictures, Tom?
Some hot, sexy pics of some hot, sexy people, aka See You Later, Space Cowboy. The Netflix live-action Cowboy Bebop. I think it's probably the most anticipated anime adaptation for Netflix we've seen in a long time. I think there was some buzz with some Full Metal Alchemist. There was some buzz with Death Note. But I think a lot of people were really excited, just particularly with John Cho being attached to the role. Also with the creator being attached to supervise and be the executive producer, as well as the original composer for the music is going to make new music for it. And we saw the pictures. So it had some John Cho with the headphones in the blue suit with the yellow button up underneath.
Indeed, it did.
It had some Jet Black, doing some cool action star pose. But the entire crew with Faye Valentine and Ein walking down a wet street. And then also some cool martial arts attacking the wooden
sticky thing.
I think boxing dummy with John Cho and just all the abs. And then another one from Miss Daniela Pineda for her Faye Valentine holding up a gun. And then one of all of them on the chair inside their ship.
Much like the famous poster.
Yeah. So I thought the internet was quite excited for it from what I saw. For me, I would always rather be optimistic and wrong than to be cynical and right. As much as I want and I can expect certain things from certain franchises, I think not many people have found the Netflix adaptations of anime too favorable, and it might fall into that same category. Who knows? But it's kind of fun to live in this moment and have the curiosity as well as the excitement to just it could be great. Who knows? This could be wonderful. And it might, it could be hour-long episodes. I don't think we know that information yet. But, so far it's they look like they're trying to treat the source material very faithfully as well as adapt certain things to meet our modern, the things that we like. I don't know what to call that, tastes, our modern tastes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. I'll tell you right now, I'm just really excited to see Jet Black and see if they do, some bonsai stuff, some bell peppers and beef, to do some
Leaf.
I also want to see the stopwatch, time doesn't stop for anybody. And then I want to see where that goes. And we'll see where Ed comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, it wasn't in any of the pictures or anything. So it'll be interesting to see how.
Very interesting.
If that even comes into play. Maybe they adapted it so that he's not around.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
Who knows? Maybe that's where season 2 starts. Who knows? And that's the thing where it's we don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
So that's my news. Who's next?
I can go. First of all, Halo, December 8th, official release date. Very exciting.
That sounds very exciting, Corey.
It means I'll be getting it 3 months after that.
He's
Sticking to my
so,
guns on this
like,
one. I'm sticking to my
heartbroken
guns on
about it.
this one, guys. My official news, though, is a very exciting announcement from Gamescom came out, and a trailer that had been teased through Twitter the day or 2 days before, with just an image that said Saints Row Rebooted. And I don't know if there are any Saints Row fans in the audience here today in the live chat or here at the table, but Saints Row is like the underdog version of Grand Theft Auto, where Grand Theft Auto has all the stops. It has its own different brand of comedy, but it takes itself pretty seriously. Saints Row was not afraid to kind of go off the wall with everything they wanted to do, living within this sandbox criminal world, and had a lot of fun doing it. And I was a huge fan of the franchise. For me, 4 was wild, was crazy. You basically became like superhuman. But before that, Saints Row 3 was like one of my favorite games for a long time. So the fact that they're rebooting the franchise in what looks like a very fun way. The trailer dropped. I'd highly recommend anyone to go watch the trailer. But I'm here for it. The trailer like totally sold me on this game coming back. And I cannot wait. No official date yet, but
to fill me in a little bit, just because like I have played some GTAs. I never really got into Saints Row, and I think your breakdown was pretty accurate. So what is kind of like the purpose with the reboot? Is it to reboot the story with better graphics, or is it to kind of like implement some of the new concepts? What's
That's a really good question. From what I could tell about the reboot, and at least from a fan's point of view, or at least my point of view, they had kind of hit a ceiling with the last one, right? The last one was like, you're the president of the United States and aliens come and you have superpowers in an alternate dimension, and it just became this crazy thing and there was nowhere to really go. So it looks like they're just kind of regrounding the series. It still has the over the top fun. Like they have a rocket in the trailer that shoots out like 6 different rockets that all, homing missile on one of the bad guys. The aesthetic is still a little over the top. One of this guy's helmets while he's riding a motorcycle is like it has like a little bunny rabbit on it that's made out of like LED pixels and stuff like that.
Changes with the expressions.
Yeah, exactly. When he's talking, his expressions change. They're going in reverse in a convertible off rooftops and stuff like that.
It's more like the Free Guy world.
It's a little that's a really good way to put it. It's like the Free Guy world. The appeal with Saints Row is that it was kind of a linear story, but you had a little more control over like what you did as far as how the other gangs in the city were treated or treated you, or how you kind of tackled those stories. And for me, as much as I do love Grand Theft Auto. I've pretty much played every one since the 3rd one. The characters in Saints Row have always been more memorable to me. So like one of the big characters that was one of my favorites, Johnny Gat, who was played by Daniel Day Kim, is so memorable. They did another game called Gat Out of Hell, which is like he died and he was escaping hell. I wanted to like it more, but it is what it is. These characters are larger than life, and the world itself is larger than life. I just think it's going to be a whole lot of fun, and I am so here for this game to come back as a franchise, and I'm excited to see what they do. Excited to see what they do with it, especially with new consoles and the ability to just make bigger and wilder worlds.
Nice.
Very pumped.
Caitlin,
That's my news.
Hi.
Caitlin, hi.
What's up?
You have some news?
I can steal Josh's.
No,
No,
because I think he's gonna get butthurt and he's gonna want to do that.
You'll probably do it next week.
I will say that I think it was this week, Genshin Impact added Aloy, right?
I don't know. I
As a
stopped playing
character.
that.
I haven't played it.
Look, I sunk $70 in that and I'm out. I'm like, no, I can't.
I actually only just started playing it.
I can't.
And I thought it was interesting that like Genshin is now getting known characters in their game.
Oh.
Yeah,
Cool.
like there's an Aloy character in the game now. It is Aloy
From
Horizon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she got added in this week. I was like,
Oh, all right. That's just licensing deals.
oh, absolutely.
And the cost for that, I can only imagine. Because also, that's what gacha games are good for.
Yeah.
Is just ripping holes in your wallet.
Yeah.
And
there was a Final Fantasy one that I played for a hot minute, and I sunk probably a good $45 into trying to get Squall. And I finally got him, and then I stopped playing it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So
I don't think Aloy is playable yet, but she was announced. I remember seeing a thing about it. Also, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is like the mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that they added Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, Aerith, and Laura Croft
Oh my
as
god.
characters
Because Square Enix.
in the game.
Square
And I'm like,
Enix.
what?
I mean, and so that's you're hitting on a lot of things. The people who I usually play games with late at night, they all got sucked into one or two gotcha games. One being the Final Fantasy one, and the other one being Genshin. And I stuck $70 into that game. Then I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. But I stuck $24 into another game, and I was just like, oh, why did I do this?
Yeah.
But it's just for skins
They're
and
fun.
cool stuff. And
It's a fun time.
yeah, I just wish I could be spending money better because that's.
I agree. I do this. I'm a sucker for like skins on things. Like I was just replaying, showing my friend Far Cry 5, and he's playing on my account. And he's like, "Wow, you've unlocked a lot of skins." And I was like,
Nope.
I bought every single one.
Oh my god.
Purchase.
He's like, "Oh damn." I mean,
Gotcha-
I did unlock
gotcha
a lot
games
through the game because
Yeah.
I beat it, but a lot of the extra ones were like, I've probably spent like
You unlocked
Getcha.
$60
They will
on top
get
of this
you.
$60 game.
Yeah, you unlocked it with that money dollar.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that
yeah,
money
yeah,
key.
yeah.
You know?
You
And they
just-
look so cool.
You took
though.
a 20, you
You folded it.
origamied it, and you
And there was a wall. It was called pay, and then you
Yeah.
ching.
But you know, and then you see, you don't feel so bad when you see them because I'm like looking through all the skins. It's like, yeah, these are really cool. But I'm laying there in bed, like that night. I'm like, oh my god,
oh no.
I haven't played that game for 3 years. There's $60 I'll never see again.
Oh my god.
So anyway,
So
questions.
Now we'll go to the second part of the show where we're going to answer questions from the listeners, the audience, and
people.
again, if you want to be put in front of the line of we could answer your questions first. Join that Nerd On Nation. Just literally $4 a month, $12 a year will get you that fast pass in front. The first question comes from Jeremy M.
Huh?
Shout out.
First question is:
shout out.
if you could choose to have a secret fortress on any planet in our solar system, which one would you choose and why? Assume, for the sake of this question, that we have scienced our way around the pesky questions of physics and habitability.
Habitability.
Habitability, it's the next Mortal Kombat attack.
Hibbity habbity.
You could terraform Mars, have a floating fortress in the storms of Jupiter with an oxygen bubble, etc.
The sun.
I have a little PTSD when someone says oxygen bubble with some of our
that's
past
right.
questions.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bubble of oxygen so that I can always make fire whenever I want. I'd pick the sun.
Dick move.
That's not a planet.
The
Dick move.
sun.
That's not a planet.
It's not a
The
planet.
sun.
That's a star.
Yeah, you're right. Then Pluto.
That's not a planet.
It.
Rick and Morty.
That's
science,
why I picked it.
Science changes.
I
Science changes.
think it's a planet.
I think it's a planet too.
I'm on 9planets.org and it doesn't even have
Fine.
It has the 8 planets.
All right. If
Because
you
9
could,
planets
if you
has
could
changed.
put it on any
Did you
planet,
see the interview? I think the scientist who discovered it was he's like, it's the biggest regret of my life.
Well, that's too bad, dumbass.
Science doesn't care about your feelings.
That's
Wow.
too bad, dumbass scientist.
Science is science.
These are 5 dwarf planets that we have: Ceres, Pluto, Hamuya, and
The sun is a great big ball
Eris,
of gas,
Makemake.
burning millions of miles away.
Anyways, mine is going to
Does
be
anyone know what that's from?
no.
Extra points.
I'm
Extra points to the chat
I'm
if you know what that's
answering
from.
questions, Corey. I
I kind of was. I was interacting with the chat there.
I'm glad.
I always thought they were burning balls of gas millions of miles away. Everything's gas. to you.
Jupiter's the biggest one, right?
sure.
I think Jupiter's the biggest one because. Okay, cool.
Got it. They got it.
Got it in the chat for the audio show. Thank you. I think Jupiter is the one because I think that's the one where they theorize that it's so giant that the core of the planet is so dense that there is theoretically metallic hydrogen in the center. Because the
Wow.
hydrogen atoms are just so densely compacted. I
That's
think
a lot.
so. That's the one I want to go for just because I'm like,
That's-
that's kind of cool.
So metal.
It is, but in the periodic table kind of way, metal.
Yeah. Laugh track.
Because it's
Taylor?
normally a gas.
I
you
would
got?
pick
Pluto,
Jesus.
Earth.
Earth.
All my shit's here.
Yeah.
Be really easy.
Any planet.
Yeah.
For the question, Jeremy M, the teacher we know.
Her
Okay.
answer
For
is
sure.
Okay.
Earth.
What? But like,
Secret fortress on
it'd
any
be-
planet
Yeah.
is Earth.
So, but I'd make it seem like it was on Saturn.
Oh, so like a little Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, absolutely. My
don't understand.
vacation
I'm so
secret
sorry.
lair
Yeah.
would be
Well,
on
like
Saturn.
if you have like any footage or all that stuff, you just make the outside of it look like you're on another planet. So everyone's like, "Oh, they're on another planet." It's like, no, they're not. They've been inside the world.
Oh.
The
Yeah,
entire
if
time.
if they
oh,
thought
oh,
that if they thought my secret base was on Saturn, they'd spend all of their time and resources trying to get to Saturn and everything, and then I'm like, dude, I'm in Chicago. Like, calm down.
Who are these people who are coming after you?
You don't want to know, actually. So
This
it's-
turned
I will
into
say-
some weird
I
like
will say the
witness protection answer.
for me having
I'd be on Earth, but I would look like I'm on Saturn for reasons.
having Jupiter means I've scienced my way to have like very
Right,
fast travel.
right.
So I'm fine with
Of
that.
course.
So Corey, what's yours?
Mine would actually be Saturn because I think
Okay.
looking at the rings at night would be really beautiful.
Oh, that would be lovely.
I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights and I haven't yet,
Yet.
but I think it would be pretty cool to look up in the sky and see the rings floating around out there.
Okay, next question from Brad. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
This is the question as I'm going to read it verbatim. Okay. What's a brand you have brand loyalty for and why?
A lot.
Really?
It says, no one.
I
do
it
have
doesn't
brand-
matter
I have-
about the lot.
Oh,
I
my
have
Lord.
brand loyalty to a lot of things for nostalgia reasons, I think. But there are a few that I'm particular with.
Choose one.
I'll pick one. Okay, you
Make
guys go
this the
ahead until
platform. Brand loyalty for me. That really mattered.
If you say Manscaped, I swear to God.
That's a good plug.
Xbox has the best control.
I'm gonna go with this so people can experience it. Tillamook Munster cheese.
Respect,
yeah,
respect.
that's-
Cause like
I
I'm
feel
not gonna
that.
be like, oh, DC, like, oh no shit, Tom. But like Tillamook makes.
Except
some
here's
really
the thing
nice
though, with
cheese.
you and like you are brand loyal to DC especially when it comes, but really when it comes to movies only.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when it comes to Marvel comics, you are so open about loving them and liking them and loving those stories. But when it comes to the movies, you are such a like.
I like all of them.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But the thing is, I just champion the DC stuff because everyone just wants to make them the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Jesus criminy.
But in the comic book and animated world,
I like all of them.
you like all of them. I'm just saying. I know you say that as a joke, but really, you're not. You aren't brand loyal to DC like through and through.
Yeah, it's
you're
just
brand loyal to comics and stories.
It's just that no one talks about it. Everyone wants to make their entire career based off covering Marvel stuff, and I'm like, dude, get off their nuts.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's Tillamook Munster cheese. My grandpa would be so happy right now if he had heard that. He loved. My grandpa lived in Washington, so anything that came out of Oregon and Washington, which Tillamook does, he was like, "Oh, this is the best thing there ever was."
Oh
I was
my
like,
goodness.
this is
my
why
grandpa.
we're famous.
Yeah. I was like, "You're from California. What are you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, well, I've been here for 8 years now." So.
I've played with a lot of cheeses, and I like Tillamook Munster.
That's fair.
Caitlin,
Um,
I have plenty of other ones, but yeah.
Same, but I'm trying to pick one.
I'm kind of a Logitech junkie. I really like all of their products, all their keyboard, all their mice, their webcams, their just all of their gear. They've always been consistently really good. They have a really nice variety of products that they make it accessible for lower end if you don't have as much money to throw around for stuff, or they make really high end as well for like the pro gamers.
Right? Yeah.
Pro
They have a
gamers.
spectrum of things for kind of anyone. No point of entry.
Yeah,
barring anyone
and they're
out.
well made. They last
Yeah.
forever.
Like don't get me wrong, I
So-
love Razer gaming products, but their bar to entry is high.
Yes, yeah, it's
It
a
is very high.
very high bar to entry, and it's just one of those brands that I've had around for a really long time.
Just to give a shout out to Logitech, we are using
a Logitech mouse.
a Logitech mouse that I bought back in 2011.
Exactly, they last forever.
That's what we use here professionally.
Professionally, we use Logitech, so like, yeah, and the people I've met at Logitech for the various years I've gone to E3 and everything, they're just really nice
Nice
people.
people.
They're nice people. They want to help people out really bad. Like they want to see you do well. Like that's been my experience with everyone that worked at Logitech. Like, yeah, whatever's gonna help you out, sure.
Corey?
I'm going between two in my head that I can't decide on.
Okay.
Because y'all know me, peanut butter is a very important thing in my life.
Which
Pepperidge
brand?
Farm.
Say it
I'm
right now.
brand
Say
loyal
it right
to a
now.
specific peanut butter, but I kind of want to left field this to one you might not think that I'm
like Tillamook Monster Cheese.
picky about, but I'm like extremely picky about.
Okay.
That is I am brand loyal to Charmin Ultra Soft toilet paper.
Hell yeah. You have to do double ply, at least, or even
I am
triple ply.
brand loyal. This has been it was in the beginning when Dana and I started living with each other, it was a contentious point of our relationship because
Are you about to go in?
What?
You about to go in dirty right now?
No, I mean no. But she would buy the not Charmin single ply stuff, and I was like, I hate my life. This is the worst thing in the world. This is so uncomfortable.
So wait, which one specifically again?
Charmin Ultra Soft.
Charmin
Doesn't have to be the
Ultrasoft.
mega. I buy the mega rolls. Doesn't have to be any specific size roll, but it's Charmin. It's the blue one.
So we do have a PO box.
Charmin
So
Ultra
if you've
Soft.
ever been curious about what to send to that PO box, Charmin Ultrasoft. Send it to attention ATTN :
Corey. Corey's colon.
Corey's colon.
Attention, Corey's
colon. Yeah.
So yeah, that's one I didn't. Dana's like, does it matter? And now it's all we buy. She's like, it matters. I get it now. It matters. And I was like, look, something you use every day. Just let's.
I always say, and every once in a while you want to go a little nice. You get a little baby wipe too. It's like, when do we start treating our buttholes like shit?
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah, exactly. And it's Jif, by the way.
I knew it was. I mean,
Jif
I just wanted you
natural.
to say it out loud. Natural.
Either one, regular or natural. I use the natural one now because it has less sugar in it.
Okay.
But
That's fair.
Yeah, Jif, choosy moms choose Jif, and I am a choosy mom.
That's fair.
Next question. Pre-selected question.
All right.
From Like to Booyah 123.
Hey.
What is the coolest nerdy collectible item that you have that you are most proud of owning?
That's a great question.
So get it off
That's
you.
a really good question.
I have one.
So get it off you. Start speaking, and I'll turn it to you. That's how this works.
Well, I was like, are you stalling?
Yes.
My favorite nerdy piece is a metal thing that was given to me from Zack Snyder's set from Batman vs Superman.
Oh.
It's that little metal thing. I was like, I can lose a lot right now in life, but that's probably like the coolest thing that I'm most happy of owning because it's part of a movie that I really enjoy. Like, it could potentially be the Charizard card that my dad gave me that's like most sentimental, but cool factor is probably that because it's literally from the set, which they all branded all of the workout equipment with this metal sigil. So I'm like, that's the one. Corey?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm gonna keep it on you just because you're telling me how to do it. So anyway, Tom.
Yes.
I think off the top of my head, I would probably say cool factor for me is I have a autographed Funko from the original Red Ranger, Austin St. John, with my name, to Corey. It's Morphin Time, Austin St. John. And to me, that's just there's this really cool full circle moment of
and that's the one that's actually in the case.
Still in the case, and it has a protective case on top of that. Tom doesn't. I open all my Funkos. So for me, that was a really, really cool and really special kind of nerdy collectible thing that I have.
Hmm.
No, Kaylin?
I really don't know. I mean, I do. My neighbor and good friend Morgan Want.
Shout out.
She recently gave me a bunch of things that she was just clearing out, and she gave me the original soundtrack to Final Fantasy X.
Nice.
And that holds a lot of sentimental value because my sister and I played that game a lot for years. Just going around and finishing literally every side quest. So
nice.
I think that would be the thing for me. Yeah.
I dig it.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Coolest thing.
Yeah.
Now we're going to answer questions from the chat. Some of them are going to be from last week. Some of them are going to be from today. Let's see. The first one is, this is from T-Dog from last week. I think
Pokemon news.
Yeah, we might have talked about it a little bit.
I think we talked about it post-show.
Yeah, so let's just have a small conversation around it. T-Dog8282 at Nerdon question, if it's not already news throughout, thoughts on the new Pokemon news. And the only thing that I remember is that Legend Arceus, you see a little bit more gameplay, different Hisuian forms, and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
I remember seeing the Growlithe.
Man.
Growlithe?
Diamond and Pearl remakes, I'm so here for it. I mean, I'm here for the Arceus one too, but there is such a, besides Red, Diamond and Pearl were like
The boys.
is right when I moved to New York, so I was like super depressed, super broke, and all I had was Diamond and Pearl to like keep me company. And so I put like, I think into both and Platinum, I put like something like 250 hours into all three of them.
My goodness.
Which
separately.
I think T-Dog mentioned it during one of my streams that for these remakes, they're going to implement the Platinum content into Shine.
Oh, like Giratina and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, because I think that's how, because you can buy them as a set. So you could buy $120 for both games so that you don't have to, I guess, make that decision. So I'm like, that's kind of cool because for me, it's hard to get excited for a remake, especially when they have like the third game, which was like, oh, this is the better version, right?
Has all of it.
Which I realize this now. Omega Red and Alpha Sapphire literally did the same thing with Emerald. They incorporated the entire story arc with Rayquaza and...
Oh, into either one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So either one will have... I mean, I always leaned harder into Pearl. Palkia was, and still is, like my second favorite legendary next to Mewtwo. So just got a Water Dragon boy. Dragon. I love him. I love the character design. I just think it's super cool.
I like the idea of Dialga a lot more just because it's the time dragon, but Palkia has a better design, but I also like the fact that Giratina is the ghost dragon. I'm like, that's
I mean,
baller,
Giratina is really cool. Don't get me wrong. I just soft spot.
Oh yeah,
for Palkia.
Oh, yeah, Caitlin. Any other than the Growlithe?
Didn't know. Well,
can I
other
ask?
than the Growlithe, because I saw like a bunch of different artists in my feed were posting about, or like posting their
new
versions
Growlithe and stuff.
So that's really all I had seen. So I'm a little out of the loop on it.
Have you guys played the? Oh, there. Tom's pulling up a picture for those of you listening.
That you won't be able to see.
Have you played the arena game, the Pokemon
Unite?
Unite?
I haven't. Has Caitlin?
No.
I've been playing.
I was gonna say you've been playing it. Caitlin is the one that should have been playing because she's the lull person.
Yeah,
but it's perfect. Like 10 minutes, 15 minutes before I'm going to bed. Like just lay in bed, play a round or two.
That's quick.
I'm all about that Gardevoir life. No stopping me.
Okay. Psychic. Psychic types.
And it's a blast. I don't know if anyone out there has been playing it. It definitely needs some balancing, and I think they're working on it and they're listening. But it's really fun. It's simple. It's fun. It's not something I don't take very seriously.
Okay.
So I don't like get all butthurt if I lose or anything like that because I'm just like, I'm just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all the Pokemon news.
That's all the Pokemon news. Second question we'll do. I like this question actually, so we're gonna punt this one over the front. Talent of the Dragon at Nerd On. I have a great question, and no, it's not a joke one. Okay, kinda is, but not really. What's your excuse? The one you use when you try to get out of things you hate.
What a great question.
I already know what mine is.
What is it?
Well, so the fun thing is that you will literally never know if it's the
truth
or
or
not, because it's like, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I have to work.
No one can argue with that.
No one can argue with it. And also, usually, I'm always working. Always. I'm always working on something.
I mean, I'm always going to call BS regardless of who you are. If it's like, hey, you want to go to a place at 10 p.m.? I'm working. I'm like, no, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
I'm going to be like, no, you don't.
I have to work until 2 in the morning a lot of the time.
That's the first thing I'm going to say, though, is no, you don't. I'm going to say, no, you don't. I was like, come to this thing. Or else I don't want to invite you. What's yours, Corey?
Probably that I'm busy.
Yeah.
I don't think too much on it. Either it's like I'm busy or maybe that, oh, Dana and I are gonna have a movie night or something, and then Dana's like, all right, I'm going to bed, and I was like, I'm gonna play video games.
Oh my god.
I think it's usually the same thing. Yeah, I'm busy.
To get out of a thing that I hate, I have.
If it's work, I mean, obviously it's sick.
I mean, I've used.
I can't tell work I'm busy.
I've used Nerd On as an excuse multiple times.
There you go.
I've said like, I have to get ready for an episode for Sunday, so I can't. What else have I actually have used before?
Definitely pulled at work the diarrhea card. Like, can't come in.
What?
Because no one asks questions.
Oh my god! Yeah,
they're not going to be like, oh yeah. You're like, yeah. I'm not coming in.
Another to get out of things you hate though.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was for me at the time was my job at the fruit stand.
Yeah,
and I definitely used that because it shuts down. The boss is just like, okay, I don't want to talk about that.
I don't really want to talk
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to hear about it.
I think I've had to use where it's like if it's done in downtown, and then I'm like, oh no, sorry, it's a little too far for me, and it's a little bit late. I'm just got off work just now, so it's like, it's kind of like drawing out the excuse because that's an excuse in LA, especially if it's too far that people just don't go. Any more?
Yeah, no, I mean that's a good. I mean, sometimes I just say it as it is, like, oh no, that's downtown.
Yeah. I mean,
don't. I love you all my friends. I care about you so deeply. But if you plan something downtown, 99% chance I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to park there. I don't want to pay $30 for parking and then walk somewhere. I don't want to do it.
I mean, I've done I've traveled to like Manhattan Beach in the middle of the day, and I've gone down to like Huntington Beach in the middle of the day for people to meet up with, and those are like, this is kind of important if I drove like an hour and a half to
there are certain like I feel like if anyone at Nerd On did it, I would be there, but like there are certain people. I told Neil once I loved him. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this arcade thing for my birthday starting at 9 downtown, and I was like, straight up just looked at him and was like, I'm not coming. I'm so sorry. I love you so much, but come to the Valley. I'd rather drive 7 hours to Novato than drive downtown LA.
Wow.
That's how much I hate parking down there.
That's fair.
I also have like anxiety about driving in cities. I just do. Like all the different one-way streets.
This is one of the big ones.
Yeah. So anyway.
Next question. I mean, this is from Azorian1. Kaylin, you can answer this one. Azorian1 asks, question, can we get CM Punk on the show asking for a friend who looks a lot like me?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll ask. We'll see if he says yes. If he says
we'll
yes,
reach out.
then we'll have him
the
on
worst
the
thing
show.
that can happen is they say no.
I don't know, Steve. Why don't you slide into their DMs? Wait, haven't we? No, we've crossed this before on their actual show. Steve was like, "Can we get this person?" I'm like, "I don't know. You should just ask him on the internet."
Yeah, that's actually pretty true.
Next question. We have some people on the internet. Zell, question: what is one show that you have your hands on in order to do a reboot? That you love to have your hands on in order to do a reboot? One show to do a reboot.
Good question. I feel like Tom already has this answer ready to go. Oh, no, that's a movie franchise. Never mind. That's a movie franchise. That was my mistake. Kaylin, what do you got? You sound like you got something.
No, that's my thinking sound.
Oh, this is a good question. One TV franchise I would love to get my hands on to reboot would be X-Men animated series.
X-Men animated series?
Yeah, like the original 90s one. I would love to.
No, the thing is, would you do it following those storylines or current storylines?
Well, it's a reboot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a continuation.
Yeah.
So, you mean would I reboot it and follow those storylines?
Yeah.
I would not do Dark Phoenix until like season 10.
Or because
more Dark Phoenix for at least 10 years.
Because you could do a reboot and then start it with House and Powers.
I would probably lead to that maybe season 5. Maybe like season 4 or 5 I would get to a point where Charles has had enough, I don't want to spoil it. Moira's had enough, and anyway, I would get to that point probably season 4.
Kaylin, I mean,
that's just off the top of my head.
We're really early in terms of how long this episode has gone, so I'm willing to kind of give more if you have more. If you have more shows ideas. Okay, let me go around the table. I do have more, but go ahead. I think for one, if I can reboot a show, if I got my hands on, which one would it be? I mean, it would be cool to get to redo Heroes without a writer's strike.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to reboot Gargoyles.
That was going to be my next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's definitely live action Gargoyles. Mix of good prosthetic and CGI.
I wouldn't want to reboot it, but I would want them to continue the Thundercats they did in 2011, where Will Friedle played Lion-O.
Yeah, that was really good.
And they only had one season because no one watched it.
Oh.
Reboot a series.
I feel like this is just popping into my mind, and I could be totally wrong about if this has already been done or not, but I would want to redo X-Files.
They didn't reboot it. They brought it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would be you want to restart that?
Yeah. Give it a new.
Would it be a reboot? Would you do like a fresh slate, or would you have like a torch passing episode?
I don't know.
That's a question you're not ready. I mean, it's just thrown out in case.
Yeah.
Which would you do? Do you lean one way or the other, or would you have to like?
I feel like it would be
Like, would you have Mulder and Scully
slate.
like pass the torch to a new fresh slate? Okay.
I feel like it'd be
Fresh
a
start,
fresh
fresh
slate, but would actually be like an AU, like an alternate universe
Oh, okay.
version, where
Different
like
timeline.
somehow they cross paths with each other. So then you're like, oh,
Like
whoa,
a kind of a Doctor Who situation.
yeah.
I dig it. I dig that.
Reboot Doctor Who. It's still going. Yeah, reboot it.
And that's the thing where it's
The
like,
best, most brilliant piece of writing. Well, let's just have them be different doctors.
Oh my god.
The show can never end.
in the chat, people are saying reboot the cartoon Reboot, which they did, which is on Netflix. And no one just watched it. Because and that's the thing. It's like, would you want to reboot things that are currently going? Because like, there's part of me that says like, I'd probably would want to reboot Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah, like fresh start.
like a fresh start where they know exactly where they're going with it. Like, because Dragon Ball Z Kai kind of tried to like just go straight off the manga, but like, there's just a part of it where it's like it doesn't feel like it's fully thought out. And I think if you redid the anime in a way where like you knew what the manga was going, you could make those liberties of like, cool, like I am going to make changes. I would do things like that.
I think another reboot that would be cool of a TV series was there was a live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series on Nickelodeon for I think maybe 2 seasons. And they introduced a 5th turtle who was a girl.
Oh, wow.
And it was really cool. And it kind of followed the aesthetic of the like 90s film. And they were like the animatronic suits and everything like that. I mean, with what you can do now and how far
Everything
animatronics has gone, I think it would be a really cool show to have like maybe even like a mini series of maybe like 15 episodes of this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles world where this 5th turtle has found a lost sister, and that's explored. You could do Bebop and Rocksteady. You could do a Shredder all the way into Krang, and have the finale there. Could be a lot of fun. Could be a lot of fun. You could have oh wow. I kind of want Stephen Amell to play Casey Jones
Again?
Did he?
He
I don't
played in
remember.
the second one, the Michael Bay one.
Oh, he did he? That's why I'm thinking of that. Yeah, bring him back. He was great.
Yeah,
He was great.
More.
Bring him back. Bring him back.
Next question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talon of the Dragon. Would you consider getting Jonathan Young on an episode?
Sure.
If I know who that is,
I
What
don't.
was the question?
would you consider getting Jonathan Young on the show? I have a musical artist, Jonathan Young, and I don't know if this is the person you're thinking about.
Probably.
There's always for sure, we'd have to just make sure that they are cool with like our show and what they're willing
The
to
way-
do.
What we do.
We do it a little different. As y'all know, we like to not just bring people in to interview them so that you can hear, we didn't want to have, you can watch this interview anywhere else. We wanted to have something that's very special and specific so that when you tune in to Nerd On, you get something with this artist that you haven't heard anywhere else. Like getting to hear Kevin Conroy talk about
Les Enfants du
I only remember
Paradis.
I don't remember the Children of Paradise, but where else are you gonna hear that? Nowhere. So if he's cool with it, check him out.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to, also.
Right.
It's a two-way street.
We don't want to get people that
communication.
don't want to be on the show.
We have to assume that yes. Assuming from the standpoint that they're in a yes, this is what we need to check out first.
And also, if they're cool people, I don't know this person, and so like, if they're sketchy AF, then no, I don't want them. But if they're cool people and like simple things, like I don't know what's right in the world and human rights and stuff like that is easy to talk about, then yeah.
Then yeah, sure.
I don't need to make room for anyone that has to learn those life lessons because that's not what this show is there
I
for.
think that's a given.
Any other questions?
Yes.
All right.
Dougler93. Oh, question. What is something good that has happened to you recently, big or small? That's a very nice question to ask, Dougler.
Oh, I have one.
Yeah.
I joined the union.
Hey.
I am now a SAG-AFTRA actress.
What does that mean
That's
for
what's
you
good.
in your career for the people who are listening?
So when there's this really fun little situation you're in as an actress wanting to work in Hollywood, is you start out non-union, and most of the agents and managers aren't going to represent you as an actor unless you're union. But the problem is when you're non-union, it's very hard to get union jobs without an agent or a manager. So a lot of people will do background acting work or do production assistant or anything they can to get vouchers to to get their vouchers so they can be union. So I have been working as a non-union actress for a very long time, about 5-6 years now. And I had been Taft-Hart lead, which is basically like, hey, this is a non-union person. They're going to work on this union project. We're giving it the okay for that to happen. And that happened enough times where I was a must join and I was waiting for a project big enough to bring me on. And there was one. So I had to join the union, and that was this past Tuesday. So I am now officially Caitlin Elizabeth, actress.
So I officially can't afford her.
Well, you can. There's
she just has to just waiver fees.
You have to do now I have to do paperwork to be like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll do it. So
defer her payment.
Yes. So
that's how we got Dana on PAs.
Yeah. Or she doesn't go by her
I couldn't afford my own wife.
Yeah.
Or she doesn't go by her actor name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole thing.
You don't do that, Tom. That's not something you do. I don't know why you would even suggest that.
I mean, if IMDb has it all wrong, there's so many people who do that.
No, you don't do that, Tom.
You don't do that. That's what you don't do.
You don't do that.
So yes, that was very exciting. And then because of things and stuff, I have a meeting with an agent soon. So that is another very cool thing that I'm very excited about. Why I'm seeing this and I'm answering it right now. Why don't you go by your not? Why do you go by your not name or net? Oh, you probably meant net.
No, I think they're talking about what Tom suggested.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, tap, tap.
You don't do that.
That's
you do not do that.
Kick them under the table. Don't do that.
But what? So a thing with joining SAG is also that you have to pick your professional name. So a lot of the celebrities that you know of, you don't actually know what their name is. It's usually something completely different. I think,
and
Emma
a lot of the
Stone
time it's because that your name is already taken, and there can only be one.
There can literally
of those
only be
people.
one, and it has to be different enough from other people's that you're not worried about getting sued for messing with their specific thing.
Yeah. So like if I was going to join SAG and there was already a Corey Powers, I would have to change my name. Who was an actor? Now there could be a Corey Powers who's a grip or an editor or whatever.
You have to, there's
SAG.
a drop down that
That's
you have
fine.
to choose what you are as well. You're an actor performer, you're a singer, you're this.
So if
you're
there was
that.
already someone named Corey Powers and whatever we went, I would have to change my name because it's already taken.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a very interesting world with a lot of stuff. Yeah, my name is literally my brand, and I specifically didn't use my last name, which is Muncie, because my mom is an elementary school music teacher, and she is making curriculum for children, and it's called Mrs. Muncie's Musical Menagerie, which I think is adorable. And I don't want her kids to be looking up stuff on the internet and then finding really violent video games or whatever that I'm in.
Sure.
And then being like, oh, Mrs. Muncie. No, it's me.
Yes.
So yeah, that's yeah. Anyway, long answer to that.
Big thing?
Yes.
Something good that happened.
Big
I just
or
said
small?
really good. Big
Really
or
good
small.
Really good thing that happened.
Big or small. Clean bill of health.
Clean bill of health.
That's great.
That's it.
Is that
I
it?
went to the doctors. I'm not dying.
Yeah. He's just scared of doctors.
Yeah, I have white coat syndrome where your blood pressure goes up when you go to the doctors.
Oh yeah.
So it was at 140 over 95. And then the second time I went, then they're like, it's 130 over 75. I was like,
Great.
cool.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. All good.
Massive
Corey?
improvement.
I don't know. Nothing. Does it say this week or recently?
I think it was this week.
Recently.
Or recently. I don't know.
Recently. I mean, my sister got married. I got to officiate, which was a lot of fun. Got to give my best man speech. That went over well, which was great because I was really nervous about that. So I'm very excited for her and Nick, her new husband. I love him. They've been together for a few years now. He's just a great guy. She's really great. They're really happy. So that was my news. That's my exciting thing.
Want to do one last question? We'll end it off?
Yes.
One last question, and I love this. Black Diablo Mamba. Oh, I have a question. Would you ever consider doing an IRL or travel stream, like a day in the life of? I
We've talked about this so
dream
many
about
times.
doing this so much. And you know those like dumb I love watching them. The Wire to like, this is the day in the life of Vanessa Hudgens, the day in the life of John Cena, the day in the life of Terry Crews. And it breaks down hour by hour, what does a person do? Mm-hmm. The crazy and wonderful thing about my life is that not any day is the same.
Not at all.
And that's the thing that I absolutely like. I find so dumb about those videos because it's like, that's ridiculous. Like some shoot days start later in the day, but then if you're working like a network job, like Vanessa Hudgens was for Powerless, which was an NBC show, I'm like, yeah, you would have like pretty similar days, and so like it's easier to schedule your life. But like if you are, you know, someone who's freelancing it up, it's so different. And so like, you know, Caitlin, I made a, you know, we're Caitlin talked about that like working to 2 a.m. thing. That's a very normal thing.
Oh yeah.
Where like, yeah, some days start at 2 p.m. Some days are going to come back and start at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So you just don't know where your 12-hour days, your work day is going to be. But also like that doesn't talk about like, what do you do to prepare, work out, clean up, be with the family, X, Y, and Z. Luckily, some people have the privilege and luxury to have 8-10 hour days if you're a performer, which is not a luxury that most people have in the industry. But would I want to do one for Twitch streaming? Yeah, why not? I mean, I would want to do a travel with everyone and be like, okay, cool. First day, Corey's gonna, you know, do it, and the next day, you know, I'll do it. You know, so
we've also talked a lot about like, you know, going to local food spots
Eateries.
and doing vlogs.
Corey's like, I want to do a
eat
burger
food.
video.
I'd love to go around and try all the burgers in LA. But yeah, there's a lot
Can we call it Burger Patrol?
Yeah, sure.
No burger propaganda here.
It's too late. It's the Burger Patrol.
Burger Patrol. That's the theme song. But yeah, there's a, you know, we talk about this a lot, and I know we sound kind of like a broken record, but man, if we did this full time and didn't have other day jobs,
oh, man.
4 quarters.
It's
4 quarters.
It really is. It really is not knowing. When I wake up in the morning, my eyes shoot open and I immediately check my phone because every single day you can get an email that changes your life completely. I mean, you can wake up and be like, oh, I now have 4 months of work on top of all the other projects and things that I was working on already. And, you know, how do you do that? And suddenly you're in like college finals, pulling all-nighters out of nowhere, and you weren't expecting to do it either. So now you've just got to grind yourself to the bone. Yeah. And then, you know, you have maybe like a week or 2 of recovery, or maybe only 2 days of recovery, and then you're back at it again. So it's a wild west.
We did get to do a new thing. We did a reaction to the Eternals trailer.
Everyone loved that.
But like barely had enough time to do that.
Yeah, I remember.
So traveling and blogging is a whole thing we would love to explore eventually.
I mean, Corey and I just talk about recording us cooking a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think
this is true.
There's a lot of things with it. Like, to me, I would love to do like, I was talking with a friend where it's like, I would love to be like a Maddie Matheson cooking thing where I'm actually making some stuff, but it's like stuff that's like actually applicable. And it's like, cool, this food. And then like, here you go. I was talking to my friend who likes to DM. And I was saying like, and the food is going to be used at, you know, the next video thing that we record, which is like a whole campaign of a D&D run. Oh. You know, where it's like, it's part of an ecosystem. Dope. It's fun. It's usable. Like, the 7 ways you could make cup of noodles and shit like that.
Dougler, so. I'm calling it out right now. Thank you for pledging dollars to Patreon. Thank you for being one of the reasons that we're going to get to do these things sooner.
Yep. Calling it out live in the chat, y'all. Come to our live shows. Those of you listening to this later. They're a lot of fun. Yeah. They're a lot of fun. Anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
Good questions today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed our trio. I know Josh popped in the chat at one point from the plane and was like, I'm here and I love you.
Goodbye.
I can't see shit. I'm in the sky.
The plane is going down because of the Wi-Fi I'm using.
Oh my God. Whose tray table is down?
I was going to say, you better not like they feel like real shit tomorrow. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for the chat. Thank you to those of you on the Discord, on the Patreon for always sending those questions. And yeah, thank you to those of you who are listening from wherever you get your podcasts. Check out the Nerd On Nation. It really does help us grow.
A lot.
What do you enjoy? It helps us keep the lights on and helps us be the best that we can be. Best podcast possible. and gets us, cool stuff like those you watch in the video right now. These little mic stands here. You're making Julie's life so much better.
Yeah. Julie's very
The
happy
editor.
because of the.
Look, the lights, the cameras, the tripods, the stands, a lot of this comes from the Nerd On Nation. So like literally we only could get better from having more of you guys on there. And that's also just going to like motivate us to do more cool things for you
And I
guys.
think we're only 12 away from our goal. Is that right?
I think we might be 11.
We might be 11 now, but 12 away from our goal from the Nerd On Nation getting to choose a topic that we cover, whether that be Hot Rod or La La Land.
I hope
or
it's La La Land.
whatever Tom's version of that
Please
is.
let it be La La Land.
Rubber.
Rubber? Oh yeah, that's right. What is
Rubber.
Josh's?
Oh, yeah.
Josh's is
Grease.
Grease. Oh,
Whatever
man.
those may be, if you want to see one of us struggle,
Watch them.
get
Watch
12,
it be a time for all four.
11 to
I mean,
12 of your friends in.
If our nation is as evil as we are, they would say do One Piece all in one episode.
That's true.
That's
Oh
the
my
true one.
God.
That's the true like.
So anyway, we'll leave it there. Thank you guys so much. Yeah. Sing us out. Here we go.
Thank you everyone. If you are watching right now, stay for the post show. If you're listening later, then hope to see you on the next one. You know the drill. As always,
Nerd on.